Yasin lay in the hospital bed, his breath shallow. Machines beeped around him, a sterile symphony for a fading life. He had always been a practical man, focused on his own needs, his own desires. He had chased success, wealth, and status, yet found himself alone. Now, as the world dimmed at the edges, a deep regret gnawed at him. He had not truly lived. He had merely existed. Yasin had ignored pleas for help, turning away from those less fortunate. He had justified his indifference, telling himself he was too busy, too important. He had built walls around his heart, shielding himself from the pain of others. But in the silence of his impending death, those walls crumbled, revealing the emptiness within. The beeping of the machines grew fainter, his vision blurred, the sterile white of the hospital room fading to black. He felt a strange lightness, a detachment from his physical form. Like a wisp of smoke released from a dying ember, his spirit began to rise. Yasin found himself enveloped in darkness, a suffocating void that pressed against him from all sides. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through him. He was adrift, untethered, lost in a realm unknown. He called out, but his voice echoed back unanswered. He was alone, utterly alone in this vast and unforgiving expanse. Then a faint light flickered in the distance, a pinprick of hope in the overwhelming darkness. He instinctively moved towards it, drawn by an unseen force. As he drew closer, the light grew, illuminating a path before him. He stepped onto this path, uncertain of where it led, but desperate for any escape from the consuming void. The path led him through a tapestry of memories, each scene more vivid than the last. He saw himself as a young man, full of ambition but lacking compassion. He saw the faces of those he had ignored, their pain etched onto his soul. He saw the missed opportunities for kindness, the moments where he had chosen self-preservation over empathy. Each scene was a searing indictment of his life, a stark reminder of his failings. He witnessed his own heart hardening, calloused by indifference. He saw the fear in the eyes of a homeless man he had refused to help, the despair of a co-worker struggling with illness. And each time he felt a profound sense of shame. The light intensified, revealing a grand hall, its ceiling lost in shadow. He stood before a throne of blinding white, his entire being exposed. A voice, filled with sorrow rather than anger, echoed through the hall. "Yasin," it boomed, "you have lived a life of shadows, seeking solace in material things while neglecting the needs of your soul." Yasin fell to his knees, overwhelmed by the magnitude of his actions. He had spent his life accumulating wealth, but what good was it now? He had chased after recognition, but who would remember him now? He had built walls to protect himself, but they had only served to isolate him from the very thing that could have brought him true fulfillment: love. Tears streamed down his face, tears of regret, of remorse, of a longing for something more. He cried out, his voice ragged with despair, "I have wasted my life. I see now the error of my ways. Please give me another chance. Let me return. Let me live a life worthy of your love." The light surrounding the throne pulsed, its warmth washing over him. "Yasin," the voice resonated, filled with a profound sadness. "Every soul is precious and every life a tapestry woven with both light and darkness. You have stumbled in the shadows, but it is not too late to seek the light." A single tear rolled down Yasin's cheek, but this time it was not a tear of despair, but of hope. He felt a hand gently rest upon his shoulder, its touch imbued with an unimaginable kindness. In that touch he found forgiveness, not for his past transgressions, but for the potential that lay dormant within him. He opened his eyes, gasping for air. The sterile white of the hospital room swam into focus. The machines beeped rhythmically, no longer a symphony of impending death, but a reassuring chorus of life. He was alive. He had been given a second chance, and this time he would not squander it. Yasin spent his days differently after that. He reached out to those he had hurt, seeking forgiveness and offering amends. He dedicated his time and resources to helping others, finding joy in their smiles and solace in their gratitude. He learned the true meaning of faith, not as a set of rituals, but as a way of life, a journey of compassion, humility, and love. And every night before he closed his eyes, Yasin offered a prayer of gratitude, not for the material possessions he once craved, but for the gift of a second chance, for the opportunity to truly live, to love, and to serve. He had journeyed from darkness to light, and in that journey he had finally found his way home.